Joining me now, Eurasia Group President and author of the new book, The Power of Crisis, Ian Bremmer. Ian, thanks so much for coming on the show. Let's talk about Vladimir Putin's bad week. We'll start with the summit between Putin and President Xi of China. He didn't get the show of solidarity he might have been hoping for from his southern neighbor.
That's true, but it's been kind of a bad year for Putin. It's not like this week is particularly exceptional. He must be a Scorpio or something. I don't know. Look, the reality is that Xi Jinping is deeply unhappy with how badly this war in Ukraine has been going, not specifically on the military front, but the fact that Putin and Russia has become a pariah for the G7. And Xi Jinping, who you will remember at the beginning of this year, stood up on that stage back in February, at the beginning of February in Beijing, and said, "You're my best friend and we're our closest strategic partners." Xi Jinping wants no part of the kind of treatment that the Russians are getting from the West right now. They want to keep doing business with them. They don't want to be on the wrong side of sanctions. They're not providing military support for Russia at all. So Putin clearly understood that that was coming. And indeed, it was in Putin's opening statement before he sat down with Xi Jinping that he actually proactively raised that he understands that China has questions and concerns about Ukraine. And I will tell you that no one's ever seen Putin make that kind of a sheepish opening statement before with any world leader, least of all with someone that he's supposedly so aligned with.
Yeah, you could tell that he just did not like having those words leave his mouth. But there was more. The Ukrainians took back thousands of square miles of territory, and we're just hearing a few little murmurs of dissent within Russia, which is unusual and probably punishable by many decades in prison. What's your take on all that? How does Putin respond?
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem is that Putin does not have any good military options on the ground in Ukraine. He has things he can do to punish the Ukrainians. You've already seen significant military strikes, missile strikes against water treatment facilities, against electricity plants to punish the Ukrainian people. But that's not going to get the land back. And what you're looking at, even if they were to announce a limited mobilization of Russian troops, which Putin needs over time if he wants to be able to grab some of that land, it's going to take a minimum of 4 to 6 months. So there isn't a Russian pushback to the Ukrainian counteroffensive. And you see that in the Russian state media, which may be even more interesting than the dissent you've seen among the Moscow and St. Petersburg city councils, has been the fact that on state media, you have people actively saying, you know, what's going on here? How did the Russians get it so badly? Was Putin badly advised? They don't criticize the president directly, but they definitely offer criticism. So it seems to me that what Putin is going to do is lash out against the West. He's blaming NATO, of course, for making the Ukrainian army so strong, for the intelligence, for the military support and the rest. And the near-term thing he can do is cut off all of the energy to Europe in the advance of winter and see if that breaks Europe, if it breaks their morale, if it breaks their unity. That's clearly where he's heading. The Europeans will be heading into significant recession as a consequence. But again, I don't see a win for the Russians here.
Okay. So you don't see Europe breaking. What does it mean for the energy structure in Europe as he, I guess, presumably squeezes the flow of gas? And can these oil price caps that are being put on Russia, can those work?
What we're going to see is the Europeans diversifying completely. The Russians made a mistake tactically in not using the leverage they had early, not cutting them off at the beginning of the war. Putin thought he was going to win, didn't think he'd need it. But of course, now, 7 months later, the Europeans have had time to actually take steps to increase their storage for gas for the winter. They've been able to acquire a lot more LNG from the United States, gas from Qatar, from Azerbaijan. They've been able to get floating LNG terminals off the coast. All of this means that while it's going to be painful, it won't be crippling. And that means that the Europeans will be able to get through this period without changing their orientation on Russia or on Ukraine, that they won't wobble on EU sanctions, 7 rounds of which were supported unanimously by 27 European member states. So, yes, this is absolutely going to hurt but ultimately it's going to hurt the Russians a lot more than it's going to hurt Europe.
Well, that seemed to be some positive news. It's probably going to help inflation a little bit, too, if they don't send prices too much higher. I want to pivot before I let you go to domestic politics. So Trump-endorsed candidates have been winning a lot of Republican primaries. Some of them are running away from this thing about the stolen election. But still, the polls are suggesting Democrats might have a chance of holding on to the Senate. Polls, of course, have often been wrong. What's your take?
92% of the candidates that Trump has endorsed so far in primaries have won. Of course, Trump only decides to make an endorsement when he thinks that the candidate is already likely to win, which is smart for Trump because it boosts the numbers. It's kind of like, not a surprise from a candidate that understands so well, the president understands so well, media and the communications space. Look, the fact is that a lot of the primary winners that are pro-Trump and pro-MAGA are also less likely to win in a general election. That's why the Democrats have funded a number of these Trump supporters against their more moderate and less problematic to work with Republican opposition. That's a dangerous thing for the Dems to do. But in the near term, it does make it more likely that they're able to hold the Senate. So at this point, I see the Senate as a coin flip. The Republicans are still overwhelmingly likely to take the House, but the number of seats that they will capture significantly less. We're talking more like a 15 to 20 seat swing as opposed to a 30 to 40 seat swing. And in a midterm election, frankly, that's going to feel like a relief for most Democrats.
It'll be a fascinating November, that is for sure. And Ian Bremmer, always fascinating to talk to you. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
My pleasure.